For many, driving gives a sense of freedom like no other. And either through old age, injury or disability, it can be hard to lose this gateway to independence. Well, for those who can no longer drive, help is at hand. Driving Miss Daisy is not just a taxi service, but offers companionship and assistance also. And we're joined now by the founder of the UK arm to tell us more. Well, thank you so much for coming in. And as we said there, it's kind of maybe for somebody that they've had their licence kind of taken away from them, it's a way that they can regain a sense of independence.
Yes, it really is about empowerment, and when people become isolated because they can no longer engage with society, meet friends, family in the way that they once did, it soon leads to isolation and you know, in many cases depression and illness. So it is all about society and engagement, and so yes.
And sometimes not everybody can always rely on friends or family members to help them get around, so actually this kind of fills that gap.
Well, we live in a very dislocated society these days in the Western world, and specifically in our country. Many of the inquiries that we get are from family members, sons, daughters, grandchildren. Can you help me with my elderly father, mother or grandparents, whoever it is, and that's where it starts, and we then go and visit them and see how best we can help them.
And talking about where it starts, actually you brought the idea to the UK, but it started in Canada.
Did start in Canada around 25 years ago, just back from there actually, having a chat to them, but then it hopped over to New Zealand 10 years ago. My wife and I were on holiday there in the winter of 2014, and she spotted one of these hard-to-miss, bright blue, daisy-adorned vehicles in somebody's driveway. I was 65 just, and looking for a purpose in life and some way that I could meaningfully engage with community that we lived in through enterprise, but something that made a difference. And serendipity, and this was put in front of me, and cut a long story short, here we are 3 years later.
Wow, and that's what we said at the beginning as well, it's not just a taxi service. Much like the film where it gets its name from, it's about companionship.
It is, and it's really being family when family cannot or are not able to help, and that's really the core of what we do. It's all about relationships, and it's local people offering and delivering our services to local people in their own communities. So,
and maybe if we kind of glossed over a little bit, but just tell us exactly what is the service, what do you do?
So the basic things that people always think about, in fact the most common thing that we start with is an elderly lady to the hairdressers every fortnight. Okay. But it builds into medical appointments, hospital appointments, but also the fun stuff. That's the stuff to focus on, because people's aches and pains, they disappear into the background if they're having fun. Two people who used to have lunch with each other now can't because neither can drive, and it's putting people together in a social environment. Sometimes we're there with them, engaging, and sometimes it's, you know, discreet distance away and let, you know, two sisters have a yarn over a scone and you know, and a cup of tea. So really that's what it's about.
I suppose that's the big difference as well, whereas if you book a taxi or an Uber or something like that, they'll drop you off at your destination and then they swiftly go off to the next one. But the whole point of this is that actually the person doing the driving will often come with you, come and help you do your shopping, sit with you if you're in the doctor's waiting area, and just be a friendly face there.
Absolutely, and with permissions, obviously. I mean, sometimes we're in the doctor's surgery, you know, translating whatever the consultation is, so the distant children can understand what is happening, because a lot of our clients are in early stages dementia. They don't always, you know, specifically understand in the moment what's been said to them. So all of that, but emphasising the enjoyment and the fun of life. If you can't have any fun when you're, you know, 70, 80 or 90, then you know, when can you? So we're there to serve.
Fantastic. Well, I suppose the main thing we need to ask then is that if there are any viewers out there that maybe want to take advantage of this service for themselves, how do they get involved? Very
simply, just on any device they've got, just punch in Driving Miss Daisy, well, you can add UK, but we will come up on the first page, and there'll be all the contact details on there.
Unfortunately, though, not Morgan Freeman driving you to appointment.
No. But we're as helpful as he was in that film for those that have seen it.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for coming in.
Pleasure. Thanks.